The Home Trip by ShiningEve, Chapter 4. Peter pulled into the garage. He turned off the gas and grabbed his bag before getting out and heading to the elevator. Thieving, he ground his teeth. Take me to wherever the hell Stark is. Right away, Peter. He fumed in silence for a few or more minutes before finally reaching his destination. He stomped out and punched in his lab access code, throwing his bag in the worn leather couch. He made his way over to Tony. Tony turned around smiling. So, you like the new ride? Peter held out his hand, palm up. Tony looked confused. What? My car key, Peter growled lowly. Where is it? Jesus, hell, fine. You sound too much like your dad. Why, thank you, Stark, Peter smiled. Now I'ma go shoot some shit. Don't bother me, or I'll have to take you to Bruce again. Tony's smile dropped. I had come in to give you a bottle of water and you shoot me in the leg, kid? Hey, I was in the zone, and you broke it. After sufficiently destroying a few targets, Peter finished his homework in his room before grabbing a snack and texting his friends. Russian man. Yo, wanna come over? MJ. Why? Neto. It's Stark Tower. Hell yes. MJ. It's Stark Tower. Hell yes. Russian man. I stole all of Tony's magnesium, and I have no one to blow it up with, 'cause Shuri in some important meeting. My ass. MJ, I'll be there 10 minutes. Neto, 5. A few hours later, Tony found Peter, MJ, and Ned burning magnesium in a sealed test tube inches from their faces, cackling like crows. Tony looked at them and proceeded to walk backwards out of the lab, saying, I'm too old to understand young kid shit today. Ned saw and grinned maniacally. Well, Stark, you got that right. Peter butted in. Peter grinned. He had his friends and family. Perhaps that field trip hadn't been so bad. Dude, came MJ's voice, the magnesium isn't catching. You got any other good stuff to burn? Last week's history paper from Mr. Asshole. That'll work. We should get Shuri down here. Ooh, yeah. Shuri barged in. It's time for science. Tony peeped his head in. I shouldn't say this, but Harley's coming next week. The kids looked at each other, then at Tony in perfect sync. Tony looked terrified. I've started the apocalypse, haven't I? Tony exited the elevator in a pile of panicking limbs. He located Bucky and Natasha and ran over. Please, I am begging you, stop your child from being so scary. Natasha sighed. What did he do? Take a look for yourself, he cried indignantly. Bucky and Natasha watched from outside the lab as Peter and his friends laughed like evil cartoon villains as their papers went up in green flames. They cheered and pulled out an assortment of assignments and added to the growing fire. Shuri ran away and came back with a jar. Bucky couldn't see the label, but as Shuri added it, the fire became blue and sparks jumped off of it. Peter cackled before throwing in another assignment, and then a discarded bullet casing he had grabbed from the range, watching it melt. We raised him well, Natasha whispered into Bucky's ear, leaning against him. That's all you're going to say? Tony squawked indignantly. Bucky leaned over and patted his shoulder. You might want some new lab counters. End of chapter.